All right, so today, let's talk about Tekashi 6ix9ine Don.
Okay.
I know you're probably thinking like, ugh, not another headline about this guy.
Right.
But just trust me on this one. Okay. This deep dive is going to be about way more than just like gossip and headlines.
Yeah.
We're going to use all this recent legal drama with him as a way to kind of like springboard into some really fascinating stuff about fame, about accountability,
Yeah.
the choices we all make when all eyes are on us,
Interesting.
or even when they're not, you know?
Right. Right.
Our main source for all of this is this episode of the Real Talk podcast. Right?
Okay.
It's called Tekashi 6ix9ine Back in Jail. Is he housed with Diddy?
Whoa, that title alone.
I know, right?
It's a whirlwind.
Yeah.
It definitely gets your attention.
For sure.
But you know what's really interesting to me?
Yeah.
Is what all of this reveals about celebrity culture
Okay.
and how all the pressure that comes with that can sometimes clash with the legal system.
That's a really good point.
Yeah.
So for anyone listening who maybe needs like a super quick refresher,
Yeah.
Tekashi 6ix9ine, he's a rapper.
Uh-huh.
He's known for a pretty, let's just say, unique style
Yeah.
and some catchy songs.
Oh, yeah. Some of them get stuck in your head.
But he's also been in a lot of legal trouble.
Right.
Most notably, that 2019 RIT case.
Oh, yes, the RET case.
Yeah.
Okay, so for our listeners who might not be super familiar with all the legal terminology,
Right.
RICAS stands for the Racketeer Influenced and Corrupt Organizations Act.
Okay.
It's basically a tool
Yeah.
that law enforcement can use to go after, like, big organized crime.
Interesting.
And in Tekashi's case specifically, it involved a lot of gang activity.
Right.
And because of that, it landed him with a really pretty hefty sentence.
Yeah. And it seems like he hasn't really quite learned his lesson from all of that.
Oh, really?
Yeah. According to Real Talk, he just got a 45-day sentence for violating his supervised release.
Wow!
So we're talking skipped drug tests,
Oh, no.
unauthorized trips to Las Vegas. Florida?
Hmm.
He even lied to his parole officer.
So this isn't just like a slap on the wrist or something.
No, not at all.
These violations go to the very heart of the agreement that he made with the court.
Right.
You know, it really suggests that he has this pattern of pushing boundaries
Yeah.
and testing the limits, which honestly, it kind of makes you question if he can honor commitments at all.
Well, yeah.
Not just legal ones, but, you know, also in his professional life.
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Yeah.
What kind of impact do you think this will have on his music career? His team?
Yeah.
His fans even?
Well, it's definitely not a good look.
Right.
I mean, think about it.
Yeah.
Brands are going to be way more hesitant to partner with someone who's constantly in and out of legal trouble.
Yeah, they don't want that kind of press.
Exactly. And it could even impact his ability to work with other artists, you know.
Collaborations,
Yeah.
features, all of that.
Yeah, there's a real risk of jeopardizing all these future opportunities for just like these short-term thrills.
Yeah, it's interesting to look at those short-term versus long-term consequences. And of course, we can't forget about all the rumors that have been going around
Yeah.
about him being housed with Diddy at MDC Brooklyn.
Right, I did see that.
Yeah, it was everywhere.
It just shows you how quickly things can get twisted around
Totally.
and blown way out of proportion.
Especially with social media these days.
Oh, for sure. Everything spreads so fast.
It's crazy.
Yeah. But Tekashi 6ix9ine's lawyer, actually, he put a stop to all that pretty quickly.
Oh, okay.
He clarified that they were housed in totally different sections.
Oh, so no contact.
No, they had no contact at all.
Okay, so case closed on that one, I guess.
Yeah.
But it does make you wonder about something bigger that Real Talk brought up. Like, does fame give you some kind of shield to protect you from consequences?
That's like the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It really is.
I mean, we see it all the time.
Yeah.
High-profile people somehow dodging accountability.
Right.
But in this case, Tekashi 6ix9ine is actually facing the music,
It's true.
which I think is a good reminder for everyone
Yeah.
that nobody is above the law.
Yeah, it really makes you wonder, is this going to be like a wake-up call for him?
Right.
Or is he just going to keep going down the same path of pushing the limits?
That's a good question, and it's actually what we'll be talking about in the next part of our deep dive.
Okay.
We're going to be looking at the power dynamics of all of this.
Okay.
And we'll delve into what Real Talk had to say about mentors,
Interesting.
values,
Okay.
and how personal integrity can help you navigate, you know, the often treacherous terrain of fame and fortune.
All right, I'm ready for part 2.
Yeah, it's going to be good.
Let's do it.
Okay. Welcome back to our deep dive, you know, into the world of Tekashi 6ix9ine.
Yeah, this is juicy.
Yeah, in the last part we were talking about, you know, his legal troubles and how all that could, you know, mess with his career.
Totally.
But now I think we should take a closer look at like all the power dynamics.
Yeah.
Around this whole situation.
Yeah. There's a lot there, I think.
Yeah, Real Talk made a point that I thought was super interesting.
Yeah.
They were saying that this whole Tekashi 6ix9ine story, it isn't just about one rapper, messing up.
Right.
It's about how power works in the whole entertainment industry.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, he got famous so fast.
That's crazy, right?
Yeah, he had like a huge following, gained so much influence in just like no time.
That kind of thing can be so intoxicating, you know?
Yeah.
It's almost like you're stepping into an alternate reality.
And maybe in that reality, the rules are different.
Exactly.
Like you can do whatever you want.
Right. It's like you're invincible or something.
Oh, untouchable.
You become disconnected from the consequences that, everyone else has to deal with.
Right. And we see that all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Not just with famous people.
True. It could be anyone with power.
Yeah. Or influence, and they get it too quickly.
It makes me think of that saying, power corrupts, and absolute power corrupts absolutely.
That's so true, though.
But Real Talk actually went a little deeper with it,
Oh, really?
Yeah, they talked about mentorship.
Okay.
And guidance.
Yeah.
Especially for young people in these situations with so much at stake.
I mean, that makes sense.
It's crucial.
Yeah.
If you have a strong support system, people who are really looking out for you, that can make all the difference in the world.
Yeah, because they can give you advice, right?
Right.
Perspective. And honestly, like a much-needed reality check.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
Especially when things get crazy.
Yeah, it's like you're lost in the woods and they have a compass or something.
Perfect analogy.
Right.
Yeah, and they also talked about, surrounding yourself with good people.
Okay.
And not like yes men.
Oh, right.
People who just tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Instead of what you actually need to hear.
You need that honesty.
It's so important.
Otherwise, you get stuck in an echo chamber, right?
Totally. All your biases get amplified.
Yeah, and you make bad decisions.
It's like having one of those funhouse mirrors.
Oh, yeah.
It only shows you like this flattering image of yourself.
Right. Even if you're like totally messing things up.
Exactly. And that can be really dangerous.
It's scary.
You need people who will speak truth to power, even when it's hard.
That's tough.
It is.
Yeah.
But those are the people who keep you grounded.
Right.
So you can make good choices, choices that line up with your values.
Speaking of values, that's another thing Real Talk was talking about.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they said it's really important to define your values.
Okay.
And that can help you navigate, all the stuff that comes with fame and success.
It's like having your own internal compass, right?
Exactly.
You know what you stand for. So you can make good decisions.
Yeah. Even when things get tough.
Right. Even when there are easier ways to do things,
Temptations and stuff.
Yeah, or compromises,
Yeah. Real Talk had this quote from some industry insider. They kept it anonymous.
Okay.
But it really stuck with me. They said, "In this business, it's easy to get swept up in the current, but if you don't have a strong anchor, you'll end up lost at sea."
Oh, that's heavy.
I know, right?
But that's so true.
It is.
So as we kind of wrap up this part of our deep dive,
Yeah.
I want to ask you, what are your thoughts on all of this accountability stuff?
Well, it's pretty clear that accountability is super important, right? And not just for celebrities like Tekashi.
Right.
Real Talk made it clear that this applies to all of us.
Everyone.
And it's not just about getting in trouble for your actions. It's about owning up to your mistakes and making things right when you can.
It's about growth.
Yeah.
Exactly. Using your mistakes to actually become a better person.
Yeah. So as we head into the last part of this deep dive, let's keep all that in mind.
Yeah.
How can we all use these lessons in our own lives?
It's a good question.
What can we do to make choices that actually, reflect our values and contribute to making the world a better place?
That's what we'll be exploring in the final part of our deep dive.
I'm right.
We'll connect all these big ideas to your life,
Awesome.
and leave you with some things to think about.
Sounds good. Okay, so we're back, and we've spent a lot of time talking about, Tekashi 6ix9ine and all this legal stuff.
Right.
But now I kind of want to zoom out a little.
Okay.
Look at the bigger picture, What can we as listeners take away from all of this?
It is interesting. Real Talk really made a point of saying that this isn't just about, some celebrity making bad choices.
Right.
They said it's like a cautionary tale.
Okay.
About fame. About accountability.
Yeah.
And what can happen when you go for the short-term thrills over, actual integrity.
It's like they were challenging us as listeners too, right?
Absolutely.
To look at our own lives and how we're living.
Yeah, like, are we surrounding ourselves with people who will be honest with us?
Right, even when it's hard to hear.
Exactly. And are we making decisions for the long term?
Yeah. Are we building something that matters or just chasing quick wins?
That was really smart of him to do that.
It was.
Because it's so easy to get caught up in, like, celebrity drama.
I do it all the time.
We all do.
Yeah.
But these themes are universal.
They really are.
Like, whether you're famous or not, we all face temptation.
Yeah.
Pressure.
Right.
And we all want to be successful.
It's like we're walking through a minefield sometimes, right?
Yeah, one wrong step. And
Boom.
exactly. And that's why Real Talk talks so much about mentorship.
Oh, yeah. Having those good people around you.
Those real connections.
That's so important.
They would say that can make all the difference.
It's like having a team of guides when you're climbing a mountain or something.
Yeah.
They know the dangers, you know.
Right.
They can help you avoid falling off a cliff.
I love that analogy.
Right.
It's perfect.
Yeah. And it's not even just about avoiding mistakes. It's about learning from them when you do make them.
Right. Remember how Real Talk talked about accountability as like a process of growing and changing?
Yeah, that was powerful.
It is.
It's not about getting caught.
Right. It's not about punishment.
Yeah.
It's about taking responsibility.
Learning it.
And making things right.
And then using that to become a better person.
Exactly.
So it's like we're all these works in progress.
I like that.
You know, we're constantly growing and changing.
We're all kind of like rough drafts.
Yeah, and we can keep editing.
Keep revising.
Until we get it right.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Tekashi 6ix9ine's world,
yeah,
the main thing I think we should all remember
what's that?
Is that we all have a choice.
A choice about what?
About how we react to our mistakes.
Okay.
Do we let them define us?
Or do we use them to become better?
Right. And build something that really reflects who we are.
That's a great way to put it.
And I think that's what Real Talk would want us to get out of this.
I think so too.
So for everyone listening,
yeah,
what can you do to be more accountable in your own life?
Good question.
Are the people around you supporting you?
Yeah, and challenging you to grow.
Exactly. And most importantly, are you staying true to yourself through it all?
Those are good things to think about.
Yeah.
All right, so that's all the time we have for today's deep dive. But the conversation doesn't have to end here, you know?
Right.
Keep thinking about all this stuff.
Yeah.
Keep asking yourself those tough questions.
Challenge your assumptions.
And keep trying to be the best version of yourself.
I like that.